As a former ambassador, I know that sometimes challenges occur from within the host nation. Japan has an outdated judicial system that places that nation at a constant competitive disadvantage. We have American citizens, today a Tennessee citizen, who are caught in the Japanese judicial system, suffering from unfair and barbaric treatment in the so-called hostage justice system of Japan. It's cruel, it's inhumane, and it's unjust. This matters a great deal to me, and it matters to the people of Tennessee. We must stand for the human rights of U.S. citizens, and when our citizens are unjustly held, they must be returned home. As you know, we have a critically important economic relationship with Japan. In fact, Japan is the #1 investor in my home state of Tennessee, more than all the other nations combined, in fact. That's been a vital and critical relationship with my home state. But today, there exists a real impediment to that relationship. That has to do with the case of a U.S. citizen, a Tennessee citizen named Greg Kelly. And it's in our nation's interest to resolve this situation quickly. I'd like to go through the facts. Greg Kelly of Tennessee was arrested in Tokyo, Japan on November the 19th, 2018. Greg, a lawyer at Nissan, was charged by a Tokyo prosecutor with conspiring to underreport Carlos Ghosn's compensation as a Nissan director. Greg's defense attorneys plan to present their closing arguments next Wednesday, October 27th, 35 months after Greg was deceived into leaving his home in Tennessee and he was arrested in Japan. Let me underscore that. It's been 35 months to get to this point where his defense attorneys are actually able to close their case. For reasons that defy logic, a verdict is not expected until March of next year, 18 months after the trial began, and more than 3.5 years after Greg's trial, after Greg was first detained. Here's the injustice. Impartial Japanese expert observers, including private corporate lawyer Keiko Ohara, have said that this matter should have been handled internally, not in a courtroom. Media reports indicate even Prime Minister Shinzo Abe held this view. Former Japanese prosecutor Nobu Gohara and criminal accounting specialist Yuji Hosono have publicly stated that Japan's judicial system has violated Greg's human rights and that there was no reason to arrest him because there was no criminal violation. Mr. Kelly's lawyers believe the evidence introduced at his trial made abundantly clear that no crime was committed. In reality, this was a coup by those within Nissan management who resisted further integration into the parent Renault. And they were willing to do anything to take down someone standing in their way. I've conveyed this concern directly to the cabinet level in Japan. I've let them know that America is the largest investor in Japan, that American executives see this as an issue that rightfully should have been resolved in a courtroom, not in a prosecutor's office. This is a terrible message to send to the rest of the world. It's bad for Japan's brand, and it's devastating to any American that happens to get caught in this system. With this type of justice system, I fear that American executives will start thinking twice about doing business in Japan.